feel as though there's a disconnect between leadership, business and community. Our industry needs help, needs all the help it can. The main focus for us now, if we do get into power, is that we want to bring Melbourne back to what it was.
I was born in Tashkent, which is now Uzbekistan. I think Russian women are honestly have such a signature style. My mum taught me that whenever you leave the house, you need to look your best.
You're a brand ambassador for so many brands.
I love what I do, but it doesn't come without its challenges, like any job.
Yep.
There's some amazing benefits. I advertise on Instagram. Social media, it's the way of the future, I think.
Got the upper hand, I've been down on my luck. Yeah, I've had better days, but I've had steep falls. There's a reason why people love an underdog. Battles on one, they just show who you are. And in the end, you know I'ma get mine. Maybe
Hey everyone, it's Elina Reddy. Welcome to Russian Influence. Today we have Nick Russian with us, who is running to be the Lord Mayor of Melbourne. His beautiful wife Rozalia is going to join us in a few minutes. And we are on location at one of Nick's sensational bars. It's called Bar Bambi in ACDC Lane. Nick, thank you so much for your time.
Elena, thank you. Thanks for having me, and welcome to our, I won't call it beautiful bar, our work site of a bar that we have here.
Nick, please tell me a little bit about your heritage.
My heritage, okay, so where do we begin? My father was born in a place called Pola, which is on the border of Italy, Croatia, and being that part of the world, it was under occupation from different countries over time. The borders continue to change, so our heritage is a mixture of all sorts. You know, we're Italian, we're Croatian, we're Austrian, we're Russian, we're all bits and pieces. So
very multicultural.
Very multicultural, yeah. The story goes that going back hundreds of years ago, they used to call somebody by what they did or where they were from. You know, like there's Bill the goldsmith, or there's Nick the Russian, he was the Russian of Russian heritage. So the story is that many years ago there was some sort of Russian influence there, but as of now we're more so we're Italian, but there was the Russian influence once upon a time.
That is absolutely fascinating.
You could say that.
Nick, how did you meet your wife?
Funny story, a bit of a cringe story as well. I owned a nightclub called Eve Bar once upon a time, and I was waiting at the front door, just working at the front door. Well, I wasn't working at the front door, I was at the front door, just sort of watching, overseeing everything. And young Rosa was walking out of the venue with a girlfriend of hers, and being the not so shy person that I was, said the most horrendous line of all time to her. I said, I thought I knew every beautiful girl in Melbourne. I said, where are you from? And she said, true cold Russian way. I'm trying to remember if I'm from Russia or I'm from Uzbekistan. It was one of the two. No, I'm from Russia. And I said, Rozalia Russian, the Russian, rolls off the tongue. So that was our very first conversation, and sure enough, we've been together now for 13 years since that day. So we've been married for almost 9 of them. Yeah, so it's gone very quickly.
Nick, you've been a successful businessman, and now you're running for the Lord Mayor of Melbourne. How did it come about?
Thank you for your nice words. Yeah, as I said, I've had a rather extensive background in business, hospitality predominantly, but I'm also involved with other industries. I'm involved with a recruitment company. I've got a cleaning company. I've got a number of different industries I'm involved with, but it was only about 5 weeks ago that I was approached by Philip Lee Lu, who's on the council at the moment, and he had a ticket to run for council, and he approached me and said that they'd be interested in me running as as being a Lord Mayor candidate. Their current concerns with the overall council and where things were going was many of the members weren't necessarily in touch with grassroots community anymore, and they weren't necessarily in touch with small business anymore. And he said, with my background in business and being a hospitality person, I'm continually in touch with community. He said that he thought I'd be a great candidate. So I was rather honoured to be thought of in that way.
Have you ever thought in the past of being involved in politics?
Look, I had. I thought eventually one day I may get involved, but I thought it would be a little bit later in my life. And I always thought that if I were to get involved, I'd only get involved if I thought things weren't really going in the best direction that our country or state or city was going in. And at the moment, I feel as though there's a disconnect between leadership and, as I said before, business and community. So I discussed the idea with my wife and my brother and extended family and business partners, and they were all very supportive of me to pursue the position. In the meantime, the story had leaked to the newspapers, and I was being inundated with phone calls and messages from people to really have a go. And from the overwhelming support that I'd received, I thought, you know what, okay, people feel as though they need some change, and if that's how they feel, and I believe there needs to be some change as well, I'm going to give it a crack. So here we are today, where all of the papers have been sent out yesterday, from what I understand. Yeah,
so the voting is open until
I should know that. I thought it was the 26th of October, but someone just told me it was till the 23rd of October. So but they're open now. So everybody will be receiving the papers in the mail over these coming days and weeks.
These are very exciting times.
Exciting times, yes.
As a businessman and working in the CBD, what are the effects of COVID that you feel?
Well, firstly, we're not allowed to trade, so that's the biggest concern. So if I want to have any kind of influence, I believe if anybody ever wants to have any influence over government policy or anything at all, you really need to get yourself a seat at the table. And again, when I was asked to run, I thought, well, our industry needs help, needs all the help it can. Well, all right, if you want to actually do something about it, all right, we'll have a go. So here we are.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The main focus for us now, if we do get into power, is that we want to bring Melbourne back to what it was, which is a flourishing, vibrant place to be. As you'd see outside, it's like a ghost town out there. There's not a person in sight. So our council, our city is going to need some innovation and some business smarts to reactivate the place again. The last number of years, it's been under management, but it hasn't been innovative. So I believe that you need real innovators to get things moving again. Once things are really moving again in years to come, it can come back under management again. But to get things going, you need innovation.
Nick, what do you think the soul of Melbourne is?
Look, I think the soul of Melbourne is it's events, it's hospitality. Like they're the reasons people come to Melbourne. They're not coming here for our weather, that's one thing for sure. They're not coming here for our beaches, that's another thing. If you look at other major cities in Australia, Sydney, well, you've got Bondi Beach, or you've got the Harbour Bridge, you've got different tourist attractions. You go to the Gold Coast, you've got the beautiful beach there. Here in Melbourne, people come here for our culture, and our culture is events, hospitality, our little laneways, the bars and restaurants, and we're the best in the world at it. So that's, it breaks your heart to see all this work that's gone into our great city over the years. It's slowly built and become such a powerhouse, it's just been completely decimated. So again, another reason why I'm keen to really take charge and get our place back and going.
Speaking on all your talents, I've noticed you have a balance, a match made in heaven, doubt it, but who's to say we're invalid? I noticed that.
Hey everyone, it's Elina Reddy. Welcome to Russian Influence. I've got Rozalia Russian here with me. Her husband Nick Russian is running to be the Lord Mayor of Melbourne. Rozalia, thank you so much for being a guest on our show.
Thank you so much. I think I said to you, my mum is going to be so proud. My grandma, she sits there watching Russian TV all day, so I think I have made their year. This is definitely one of their highlights.
At what age did you arrive in Australia?
I came here with my family when I was 3. I was born in Tashkent, which is now Uzbekistan, but when I was born it was part of the USSR. Yeah. And so as the USSR...
One of the 15 republics here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So as the USSR was breaking up, I'm sure that we all know that things got really tough and, you know, things got really bad in Russia. So my parents made the decision to leave and we had the chance to either go to Australia or Canada. My auntie and uncle went to Canada and we came to Australia.
So what year was it?
1991.
91, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And have you ever been back to visit Uzbekistan?
No, I would love to. I'd absolutely love to go. My uncle's been back and he said a lot has changed now. It's not, I think it's lost a bit of its Russian influence, so a lot has changed, but I would love to go back one day.
You have 2 children, 6 and 3-year-olds. What cultural traditions do you maintain at home?
Well, my mum, she helps look after the kids every single week, and you know, family's so important to us. You know, being Russian and obviously Nick's Italian, so family is absolutely everything to us. My mum speaks to the children in Russian. She drops off borscht every single week. Every time she comes over, she makes plov for us, which I think is more of a Uzbekistan dish than a Russian dish. But, you know, I would love for my children to, you know, learn about our heritage and, you know, and Nick's culture as well. And I think culture is so important, and that's why Melbourne is full of so many different cultures, and that's just what makes, you know, the city amazing.
Rozalia, how did you find the transition from being a ballerina to being an entrepreneur?
I won't lie, my mum was devastated when I stopped ballet. Being a good Russian girl, you know, ballet was everything, because my mum, she was actually a gymnast and she always wanted to do ballet. So when she said that, when we came to Australia, she's like, my little girl's going to do ballet. So I loved doing ballet, but then it was just something that I was naturally good at, but I just didn't have my heart in it. And I think as well, like the Russian ballet compared to the Australian ballet is just worlds apart, and ballet in Russia is such a big deal. So I think my mum had those dreams for me. But then I finished school and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and even still I've kind of fallen into this job. So you
did ballet the whole way through your schooling?
Yeah, I finished ballet when I was in year 11.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was at the Australian Ballet until I was in year 11, and then I stopped.
So were you there every day of the week?
Every day. Every day of the week. And when you're at the Australian Ballet, you don't do normal school hours. You know, you do practice and you do warm-ups, and then you might do like an English class and a history class, but then you'll be back to ballet. And so I thought that if it's not something that I really want to do, I need to maybe stop now and just focus on finishing school, because it's so tough to get into a company. And I think you really, really need to want it. Like in your heart, you really need to want it. And it just wasn't for me.
Please tell me about you being an entrepreneur. What's that like? Because you have your own clothing brand, is that right?
Yeah, so what I do is I work with different brands as a consultant, and I'll help them, whether it's with their clothing range or beauty range, and help them, you know, designing, marketing, And look, I'm lucky. I love what I do, but it doesn't come without its challenges, like any job.
Yep.
There's some amazing benefits, but then at the same time, you never switch off either. When you've got your own business, you never switch off. Nick and I, we always complain, 10, 11 o'clock at night, we're still doing emails, trying to juggle the kids. And so it's tough, but I do love it and I'm very fortunate.
Rozalia, how did you develop your impeccable style? I think your style is absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. I think Russian women, honestly, have such a signature style, and it's something that Nick, when he first met me, I remember being, we were overseas one year, and it was like we played a game like Spot the Russian on the beach, because you could tell the Russian women apart. And that's something that my mum taught me, that whenever you leave the house, you need to look your best. She was horrified when I wore thongs out on the street one time, like the thongs.
Yep.
Thongs are by the pool, not even at the beach. At the beach you wear, like heels, and thongs are literally just to wear. I think it's just about having some pride in your appearance, which is what Russian women definitely have.
Speaking on all your talents, I've noticed you have a balance, a match made in heaven, doubt it, but who's to say we're invalid? I noticed that you're a freak, I'm a mess. Second guesses put to rest, even see you as Juliet. No stranger to the matter, put one and one together. I'm with it if you with it, why make our love forbidden? And escape from my last, let's not move too fast. From my last, let's not move too fast.
You're a brand ambassador for so many brands.
I love what I do, but it doesn't come without its challenges, like any job.
Yep.
There's some amazing benefits. I advertise on Instagram. Social media, it's the way of the future, I guess. You never switch off. You really learn to appreciate the small things in life when you see the world through children's eyes again.
Rozalia, you're a brand ambassador for so many brands such as Mercedes-Benz, Tiffany, and the list goes on. How did that come about, and what does that entail?
How did it come about? I've been working on social media for 7 years, and it was just a natural kind of progression before social media was really big and before brands used social media to advertise on. A few years ago, I guess I'll give you an example, like Mercedes-Benz or Tiffany. They would advertise money, they would spend advertising money in a magazine. Now, a lot of those brands have moved away from traditional media and now will go to social media because the results are instant. They get, instant sale report. And so I guess it's a much clever way of advertising. So that's the best way that I can describe what I do. I advertise on Instagram. I said it's been 7 years as well. So there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes as well. Like you have to, you have to pitch to the clients. You have to give, examples of how you're going to work together and what the partnership's going to look like. But social media, it's the way of the future, I guess, and we see a lot of magazines now shutting down, and which is quite sad. But I guess for brands, they look at social media as a much clever way of marketing. Back in the day, you would advertise in a magazine, you would spend a huge amount of money, and then you don't even really know in terms of if you have growth in sales, if that's from magazine A that you've advertised or magazine B that you advertised. Now it's so direct, so you can pinpoint exactly where your growth is coming from.
Sounds like you're so busy. How do you juggle it all? So your business, your family, your children, your husband.
We will always say that we have such amazing support from our family. And our friends as well, and having 2 small children, it is, a juggling act, but, we like to be very organised. I like to be very organised, and as I said, we have a lot of family support and friends as well that we can call on to help out with the kids, whether it's just do school pickup or drop off, or you know, I might ask a girlfriend to come and mind the kids for a couple of hours while I duck out to a meeting. So yeah, I think family and friends is definitely very important.
Rozalia, a tricky question. Why do you think Nick would make an excellent Lord Mayor of Melbourne?
Look, I think Nick, you know, whatever he puts his mind to will do really well. But I think at the moment, just the way our city, or the state of our city, it's so devastating to see, and I feel that unfortunately the people who are in position at the moment are so out of touch. They don't understand small business, they've never had their own small business, or a lot of them are career politicians as well, that they've never ever worked for anyone other than being a politician. So I think it's so important to have someone, you know, such as Nick, who has worked his whole life in small business, understands small business and understands hospitality as well, to drive our city out of this. Because as much as our political leaders now say that we can hear you, they might hear us, but they don't understand the real effect that this has had on small business and how we can get out of it. So that's why I think that, you know, regardless whether Nick wins or not, I think it's just going to be so important the next, you know, 18 months to 2 years to have someone in there who actually understands and works, and, you know, preferably would have worked in small business as well.
Well, we wish him all the best, and I'm sure he has a very strong chance to win. Nick, what is the most unique experience you have ever had?
It's a tough question. It's a very tough question. I can try and think of something funny that's unique, or I think most of the unique experiences that I've had have evolved around travel. We've done a lot of travel over the years. We've been pretty lucky. I think maybe the most unique experience would have been, I think, going to Dubai. What do you think? Yeah, maybe travelling to Dubai, just the culture shock of everything. It was fantastic.
And the grand scale.
And the grand
everything
scale,
is the biggest, the largest.
Absolutely.
Greatest.
It's either between that or going to a Russian restaurant for a birthday for the first time. Yeah, that was unique in itself. So, yeah.
Rozalia, how about you? What is the most unique experience you have ever had?
I think my most unique experience is having a boy, giving birth to a son. We have 2 children, a daughter, and she's such a girly girl. She reads, she colours, you know, she's exactly the way that I was when I was little. Then we had our son, and boys, now I see him jumping off the couch and like doing like rocket ships and like tumbling down the stairs, and I was just, I think I'm just in shock at how different boys and girls are. And Nick's mum tells me as well that this is just like a 3rd generation, that he's exactly the same as how Nick was.
So your daughter is a mini you and the son is a mini Nick.
He's just wild, absolutely wild. So yeah, I think every single day I say to Nick, I said, I can't believe it, like today he jumped off here, or like he rolled down there, or he ran into the wall, and I think that's an ongoing learning experience that I'm going through, at how crazy little boys are.
Yeah, and motherhood is such a blessing.
It is, it is. Yeah, you really learn to appreciate the small things in life when you see the world through children's eyes again. So yeah, no, we're very lucky.
Comeback king. He's a comeback king who keeps rising.